Alright, welcome back. Hello.
¿Cómo están? Ha sido una semana desde que nos hemos visto.
How you been?
Bien, bien. ¿Tú?
Igual. It's been a super busy week, but I got to see like basically all of my friends this weekend, so I was happy, re-energized.
¿Cansada?
Sí, igual. But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm gonna stress myself out at work, and then on the weekend I'm gonna like go and have fun and relax like to the fullest. Sí. Y
¿No te pasa que a veces es de que tienes una semana súper cansada y es de que no quiero hacer nada el fin de semana y te llegan un buen de cosas de que quieres salir, quieres ir acá, vamos aquí?
It's like, what are you doing? I'm like,
y es como, no.
I don't want to do anything. Sí, sí me pasa. But like I only really have like the people who I go out with, whenever they do ask me to go out, it's like that's their only free time. And I'm like, I can't say no because I'm not gonna see you in a really long time if I don't say yes.
Sí, y luego, no sé, a mí me pasa de que a veces culpa, es una culpa, de que salgo y luego el domingo es de que estoy muy cansada, no descansé para el fin, para la semana, y luego llega el viernes y de que voy a descansar, no voy a hacer nada, y de nuevo.
Sí. Well, are you an introvert or an extrovert? ¿Cómo te sientes como más? Like, how do you relax, you know? How do you feel re-energized? You're an introvert. Y siempre estás saliendo. Con
Sí,
razón estás
descansa.
cansada.
Sí, no, es que, o sea, a lo mejor sí, me gusta descansar, tipo, estar en la casa todo el día y en la noche puedo salir. Eso como que para mí es ok, pero descansé en la tarde.
Sí, sí. Like you had time to yourself. Yeah.
Porque luego, si me quedo todo el día en mi casa, los 2 días, es de que no hice nada. Desperdicié mi fin de semana,
Yep.
no hice nada.
Yep. Yeah. I think same for the most part. Pero es que if I'm not doing something, then I'm doing like nothing. O sea, ayer que my plans weren't until like 5 p.m. And so I stayed in bed until 2.
Sí, ya sé.
2.
Me dijiste que ibas a ir a la alberca y yo de que, ¿dónde está? ¿Por qué sigue en su casa?
My bed. Yeah, I did go to the pool. It's because, so my friend recently, well, no, a couple months ago, she moved into her new apartment. And they have a pool, and I have been dying to go to a pool because it used to be y'all's house that had like the pool. And then y'all moved out. I was like, okay, well, that's fine. Who do I need to fiend for? Y luego de la nada, like an answered prayer, they came down. They're like, we have a pool. Okay. And so I went yesterday at like, it was like 5. Pero estaba padre porque el sol todavía estaba...
Sí estaba ayer
Yeah.
muy caliente,
Yeah.
quemaba el sol.
Sí.
Sí.
Pero
Pero ¿sabes qué? Este verano siento que no ha estado tan feo.
¿Tú crees?
Porque ha estado lloviendo. Por ejemplo, siento que el año pasado sí estuvo muy, muy feo. Porque, o sea, no llovió casi nada.
Aparte. Well, you're right, yes. Pero aparte, now we work in offices and we don't have to like go outside like too often. And I feel like sometimes, like, I know it's hot outside, but since I'm in my house or like I'm at work, I'm like, oh, it's not too bad. But if you don't remember having to walk all the way to the main campus, like the main donde trabajamos, main building, it was hot.
Sí, bueno, sí, puede ser.
That's what I think.
Sí. Bueno, es que, bueno, no sé, o a lo mejor es de que salgo cuando está terminando de llover o está lloviendo y no se siente tan caliente.
Bueno, eso sí.
Por ejemplo, ayer sí lo sentí muy caliente y no llovió.
Sorry. Sí. That and like, you're right. It really, I feel like normally in the summer, cuando cae agua, it's in April. And now it's like July and it's like, there's a lot of rain that we're getting.
Sí.
Sí. I don't know.
¿Y ustedes han tenido lluvias? No sé. De que en Aguascalientes cayó lluvia, está seco, o sea, Aguascalientes estaba seco de que ya no había agua, literal. De que en los carteles es de que cuida el agua, ya no hay. Sí, igual que en Monterrey. Por tanta sequía que había. Y entonces, cayó cuando fue lo del 4th of July, que aquí estuvo feo,
Sí.
allá también cayó horrendos de agua, igual. Pero tanto, o sea, literal, la presa, ¿sabes qué es una presa? Como un lake.
Oh, yeah.
Más o menos.
Yeah.
No, a ver, no es que no había agua, pero estaba seca.
It was low.
Ajá.
Sí.
De que, y hay una cascada y así, de que ahorita está el agua de que ¡paz! Ajá. O sea,
That's
ya está
crazy.
llenísima ¿cómo se llama? La cascada está de que súper bonita y
Pues
así.
that's pretty. Like, está bueno.
Y todo está verde. O sea, antes estaba café.
Exactly.
todo estaba café y ahorita está todo verde.
Well, they were in a drought, like, for a while.
Ujú.
Es que bueno. Que no le cae de más, right? Like, hopefully. Fingers
Sí.
crossed, but that's good.
Y tú de que gracias a Tlaloc.
Oh, I
Tlaloc. Sí.
Yeah. See, I don't know.
Sí.
I don't know. There has been a lot of rain. That's weird. Está bien. Hopefully, I'm trying to catch a day where I can go outside and like be in the sun, porque no he tenido nada de tiempo para estar en el sol.
Pero ahorita está nublado.
Sí. And it's weird because even the days that I am free, like the clouds are like, no, you can't lay out in the sun. You can't see
Sí.
anything actually. But yeah, anyways, that's what's going on here. Uh-huh.
Sí.
Bueno.
Bueno, hoy tenemos una invitada, pero una host muy especial. Un
Thank you,
aplauso a
everyone.
Diana.
Gracias.
Bueno, y se están preguntando por qué, ¿verdad? Es porque Diana tiene una historia muy, muy padre que nos va a contar. No sé, mucha gente ahorita está como... A lo mejor se pueden relacionar con su historia o no. Gente que está emprendiendo o que quiere emprender. Aquí está un ejemplo. Entonces, este episodio es sobre Diana y su emprendimiento.
Sí. And I talk about pastelitos.
Sí.
So some people know, some people don't. When I was in college, I started a business because they had taken away basically like one of the scholarships that I needed to keep going. And I don't even know why they really took it away because it wasn't like academic. I think it was just a one-time scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
Y me lo quitaron in the summer, and I think I had maybe like 4 weeks to make up for it.
Okay.
And I was like, damn. I was like, am I gonna drop out of college for this? I was like, is this the reason why? And so it started that I was selling clothes out of my closet. One, that didn't work. And then I tried to go and like do I started working with my dad. He's a mechanic. What do I look like working in a mechanic shop? And then I finally tried doing like baking pastelitos because I had made pastelitos, quote unquote. I was baking cheesecakes. Is I had made some like the holiday before, like in Christmas. And then my dad was like, oh, these are really good. And I was like, if you guys like it, I could just keep going. And so I was selling to friends. I was selling to family. And then around that time, I started posting it to like my college friends. Y de ahí entonces creció. And then they were like, just bring it back to College Station, which is where I was going. And then I was like, okay. And so I brought it back to College Station. And then all of a sudden, I had like strangers in my inbox being like, can you make me one for today? I was like, sure, I guess. At that point, I had already paid for everything. And then people were still like, can I have another cheesecake? And I was like, okay. Y de ahí salió. Pastelitos.
Ok. Pero, a ver, para entender un poquito más de tu historia. ¿Por qué cheesecakes?
Cheesecakes.
¿Por qué dijiste cheesecake? O sea, voy a hacer cheesecake.
I think it was just because I had originally started it showing it. I had baked a cheesecake for my family on Christmas. And then...
¿Era tu primera vez?
It was my first time baking a cheesecake.
Y ellos querían cheesecake.
Sí.
Ok.
Or bueno, era de que my dad was like, hija, vas a emprender. Vas a aprender cómo cocinar, like, for the holidays. And I was like, no. And he was like, okay, well, can you do the dessert? And I was like, I guess. And I remember asking Siri, like, hey, Siri, like, what are some good, like, Christmas desserts or whatever? Y que me sale cheesecake. And I was like, that's not too bad. I could do cheesecake. And that's how it came about.
Okay.
Because everybody liked it. And they were like, oh, you should do this again. And I was like, okay, está bien. And then, de ahí.
Y cuando estabas en College Station, o sea, ¿dónde hacían los cheesecakes?
It started not in a commercial kitchen. I started baking them out of my apartment.
Okay, vivías en un apartamento.
Sí,
Okay.
vivía en un apartamento. And then I would have all of my customers pick up from there. So they would like text me. They'd be like, hey, like, send your deposit, blah, blah, blah. And then meet me here. And they would be like, the Gables College Station? And I was like, yeah, meet me here. And so I had like strangers coming to my door, and people probably thought I was like doing something not cheesecake related. But there were so many people like who would knock, and I know my next door neighbor, he would always be like, oh, like it's smelling really sweet. Like, what are you doing? I was like, baking like 60 cheesecakes. Yeah. It was in my apartment.
Okay.
And then at some point, when I outgrew my apartment because it was like 60 cheesecakes is way too much, there was a commercial kitchen / bakery.
Pero a ver, a la semana, ¿cuántos cheesecakes estabas?
Oh my God. Okay. When I was in...
Al principio.
Okay. When I started it here in Houston, it was probably like 10 cheesecakes a week.
Okay.
And then it started to pick up, and then it was like 30 cheesecakes a week. And I moved back to College Station, and that's where like all of my customers were. Mm-hmm. And then my max, when I was in my apartment, was 50 cheesecakes a week because it wouldn't fit in my fridge anymore. And then when I finally got into the bakery, it was 200 cheesecakes a week. And then I had to hire people. And it was crazy.
Okay. O sea, y... ¿Cómo te sentías en ese momento? O sea, de que... ¿Qué pensas? O sea, ¿pensaste tú que un cheesecake podía llegar a tanto?
No.
Porque, o sea, a ver, has estado en periódicos, de que newspaper, sí. En las noticias.
Yeah, for good and bad reasons. See, I would have never thought in a million years, yo bien cheesy. I didn't think that the cheesecakes were going to do anything because in the beginning, like, I didn't want to start a business. Porque dije, like, I'm in college. Like, it's going to stress me out. Mm-hmm. I can't do both, blah, blah, blah. And I was, like, half doing both, but I didn't think at any point it was going to be, like, 200 cheesecakes a week. Like, I still, to this day, can't believe it. Because you can buy a cheesecake anywhere. Mm-hmm. But there were points where... It was a really long time, actually, where I would put out the order forms and they would sell out in like 30 seconds. And I had to... There was a girl, because obviously A&M, with the college where I went to, is full of like engineers, right? So they're really smart. Mm-hmm. And one of my old customers, and her name is like slipping me. I think it was Sabia. Was it Sabia? Uh-huh. She saw that like the orders were coming in so quickly that my form would like crash. Like, and I was like, I literally can't keep up with the orders that are coming in right now. And I remember she DM'd me and she was like, I can help you build a form that like cuts off and takes off the dates once they're full. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. And so she helped me. I had to call on everybody to figure it out because it was so out of my capacity that the people were like, I can help you. Mm-hmm. It was wild.
Okay, entonces, ¿qué sabor de cheesecake? O sea, ¿cuántos sabores de cheesecake ahorita tienes? ¿Y con cuántos empezaste? A ver, ¿con cuál empezaste y después así? ¿Sabes? Como
sí.
El time lapse?
The timeline, yeah. I originally started only selling strawberry and plain, just like strawberry and vanilla. And then I was like, I can make raspberry, so then it was strawberry, plain, raspberry. And then I was like, it's called Pastelitos. Let me bring in something like Spanish, Hispanic, Mexican. And then I had cajeta, and that was my fourth one. So it was strawberry, raspberry, cajeta. And I was like, chocolate and caramel. Like, I have to add that one. So then that one came in. Y luego, ya después, my customers were like, do you have anything else? And I was like, what the? Anything else? Okay. I mean, I can try. And then I gave them Oreo. A lot of people to this day they're still asking me about red velvet. That one's a little bit... It's not hard.
¿Lo has hecho?
I haven't tried to make that one yet.
Okay.
But people to this day still ask me, and I'm like, that's a lot more...
Sí, siento que es un poquito más difícil.
Sí.
Y más porque el red velvet es como más pastel.
Sí.
Cheesecake.
Because the way that I would want to make it is like having like a cake at the bottom and then the cheesecake on top. Or the cheesecake on the bottom because it's denser and the cake on top. It's a little bit more...
Sí, más física.
Sí.
No, física, no, química.
Sí. And then at that point, like, I couldn't even bring it in when they were asking me because it was like 200 cheesecakes a week. I was like, no puedo. Literal, like, no puedo. Mm-hmm. So for a while, probably for like several years, I want to say like maybe the 2-3 years that I was in College Station, those were my only flavors because no tenía nada de tiempo para traer otra. But although I have some more. And then I brought in, because they used to be like in little pie pans. And then people were like, can you make them bigger? And I was like, hell yeah, I can make them bigger. And then I made the New York styles, que están más grandecitos. And that was it. That was the timeline. But now, yeah, that things have kind of like slowed down. I brought in like tiramisu cheesecake. That's my all-time favorite. I brought in like lemon blueberry, que es otra. Y ahora sí, I'm experimenting.
Okay. Okay. Y, o sea, ¿en qué año empezaste? Porque se nos olvidó eso, ¿en qué año empezaste?
Sí.
Porque sí, cuando estabas en College Station, pero para que la gente más o menos.
Sí. That all happened July 19th, 2019.
Pensé que it was in 1990.
Sí, no. Before I was born, I already had the business in mind. I think it was in 2019.
Okay.
Sí.
Okay, ¿y cómo te afectó COVID? Porque fue un año antes, ¿no? O sea,
sí,
¿seguías
sí.
vendiendo o qué?
Sí, seguía vendiendo. So whenever quarantine happened, I had all of my workers like off. Like I didn't have them working because we didn't know what was happening. And I gave them hazard pay for what it was like the 3 weeks that we weren't working. Porque at the time, like, I was their only job. And so I was paying them at that time. And then I was like, well, you know, people used to come into the bakery and pick up the cheesecakes on their own, but we have a parking lot and we could do curbside. And so we started doing curbside. And I had all of my workers. It was me. I think at the time it was like me, Alex, Huicho, and Yerb. I think that was my quarantine like people. And then I think, I'm not sure, I'm getting them mixed up, pero at that time I was like, okay, we'll just mask up, we'll be fine. Like, we're working in the kitchen, like we can just keep everything clean, está bien, and then our customers will just pull up in their car and leave, and like everybody's doing curbside for food. And it was so much busier than I thought it was gonna be, because now people were like, it's like drive-through cheesecake. Let me just go pick up my cheesecake and go home, because everybody's at home and everybody was snacking like it was like quarantine weight. So it was a fun time. It was really fun, but it was also kind of like, I was like, obviously it's my first time running like a business, and this is like a pandemic. I don't think anybody knows what to do.
Sí. Tenemos otro invitado, ¿no sabían? Es Oliver.
And here comes Oliver.
Cada vez que escuchen sus patitas, tómense un shot.
Ajá. Y que empiece a correr. Sí. And so that's kind of how that happened. And then, yeah, I think we had shut down for a little bit. If I'm not wrong, during the summer. But that was it.
Okay. Y, o sea, después de cuarentena, o sea, supongo que el negocio se fue más para arriba. O sea, como que tenías más órdenes.
Yeah.
Porque, a ver, no has dicho que todavía lo de Dallas, Houston y College Station. Entonces, a ver, explica un poco más.
So, because College Station is obviously like a college town, everybody is either from Dallas, San Antonio, the Valley, Houston. And so what would happen is that people in College Station would have the cheesecake, they would post about it, and then the people from their hometowns would be like, where did you get that from? Like what is this? And then they obviously started following me, and they would be like, oh, when are you coming to Dallas? I didn't even know that was on, like, I didn't even know that was a possibility, but I mean, I guess. And the biggest demand was always in Dallas, like Fort Worth. Like, because I think that was like the second biggest, that's the second biggest city in Texas, I think.
Fort Worth.
And so I was like, okay, well, how can I do this? And so I would make an order form specifically for Dallas. There is a co-working space in Dallas that lent me their kitchen. So because people were like, oh, come to Fort Worth, come to Dallas, I was like, I'm going to Arlington, and you guys will meet me there.
Pero no está tan lejos.
Yeah, no, it's like, I think at most maybe 45 minutes.
Sí, es como de, sí.
Sí. It's better than College Station, you know, like having to drive all the way to College Station. Aunque sí tenía mi gente who would be in Dallas and they needed one for like that weekend, and they would drive all the way down. Sí.
Oh, wow.
All the way down to Dallas. Or all the way down to College Station, digo. Hasta en Houston. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like the guy that flew in.
Oh my, yes, there was one time I had a customer who came, and he came in from Puerto Rico?
I thought it was California.
Somewhere. Or he was going to Puerto Rico, because I remember Puerto Rico.
It might have been.
But I think you're right. I think he did come from California.
It was like California, Houston, right.
And he was like, yeah, I'm literally taking this directly to my girlfriend. Yeah.
En Puerto Rico.
Sí. Sí, sí, sí.
No manches, qué padre.
Sí. He came in very like muy, he had a collar shirt on, very well, neatly, like, and so he comes in muy así como businessman, and I'm like, oh hey, like, are you picking up? He's like, yeah, I'm picking up for da da da, y me da su nombre. And I like to talk with my customers, so I'd be like, oh, de dónde vienes, like, qué onda, like, what are you doing? He was like, oh, well, actually I literally just got off of a plane, and I'm gonna go take this directly to my girlfriend. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet, where are you coming from? He was like, oh, California. I was like, ah. He was like, yeah, but my girlfriend's in Puerto Rico, so I'm gonna go and take this to her. I was like, I was like, okay.
¿Cómo te sentiste? O sea,
I was like, I would never do that.
que vinieran de California.
I don't know. Like, it's because, like, what do I even say? I'm like, thank you? And then I was like, wow, that's so sweet that you're doing that for your girlfriend. I was like, is your girlfriend from here? She was like, yeah. She goes to college here or something like that.
A lo mejor por eso sabía de tus cheesecakes, a lo mejor lo probó.
Sí. I think it was something like that, and so.
Y a lo mejor tenía como un layover o algo así. Fue de que, ay, tráeme uno de, ¿sabes? ¿O cómo fue?
It could have been. I don't know. It's because I never asked.
No le preguntes eso a ella.
No. But, I mean, he looked like he was big baller. Bless you. He looked like he was big baller, so I was like, yeah, if you got it like that, man, go ahead. And then I had a couple of other customers who would come, and they would be like, oh, I'm picking up this cheesecake, but I'm taking it on an airplane to my family, because they would go to Colorado, or they would go to, like, Washington. I remember there was one customer, her name was Cameron. She took a picture of the cheesecake on the plane as her carry-on. And
So if you want exact dates, I have
oh my goodness,
like an exact timeline.
oh
Whenever
my
everything
gosh, wow. Okay, yes. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Okay, yeah. See, okay, so I got the kitchen in College Station October 8th, 2019. So I started in July baking out of my apartment, and so the kitchen was got in October. And then I hired my first employee October 15th, and then I got us all team gear. So it was like because it was really cold in the kitchen, so I got us Columbias with pastelitos on it. And so I got that in November. Then there was like a super late night, I think on February 5th that you wrote this. And
that's when they left you for dead.
Don't say that. My employees one of them had a final, and the other one I think was just exhausted, so I let them go home, and it was a late night. And then there was a radio talk show in February 2020.
¿Y qué pasó ahí?
I think it was was it with the first gen?
I think it was.
It was a student org. Yeah.
Okay.
And because I was a first generation student, they were like, oh, let's bring her in because, you know, blah, blah, the business. And who's his name? Kevin. He was the president of that at the time, and I have him on LinkedIn, so he's chill. It was that, and then Christian helped in the kitchen one time, and he was like, how does everything work? And I was like this is what we do. And then, yeah, I did end up closing it, I think, May, or before May, because I opened back after the pandemic, May 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a card reader, and then I got a distributor for the cheesecakes, which was the office space in Dallas, in May. And then it was a new kitchen here in Houston, May 2020 or 21. It doesn't say the year, but I think it was 2021. One of the two. And then I had a new flavor in 2021 too. But, so he's been writing down all the dates, which I think is so sweet. I totally forgot about that. But,
Okay.
Sorry.
Y a ver, ¿qué tipo de cheesecakes te han pedido? Que, o sea, no has podido hacer. Ya dijiste el velvet. Ya sabemos que el de gansito.
See, oh my god. The gansito one, Christian has been begging me for that one. And then so has a couple of customers too. I tried to make it one time. It's because it's so nuanced. like, it's so easy to mess it up. So if I bring it to customers and they're like, I want to have 60 gansito cheesecakes by the weekend, me muero. Like, I would die. So I keep that to him and whoever else asks.
No me ha hecho gansito.
Not yet.
Hizo una vez de gansito. Le di unos, ¿cómo se llaman los trays, se llaman?
Sí.
Que son, ¿te acuerdas el año pasado que te di unos para la boda de Karen?
Oh, ajá, sí.
Ajá, y luego se los di para que me hiciera unos cheesecakes, porque le dije de que es que mi mejor amiga se va a casar y ya ella me hizo cheesecakes, unos cheesecakes, porque yo tenía unos trays para...
For like little cupcakes.
Ajá, bueno, no cupcakes, como muffins, porque estaban grandecitos,
Sí.
más o menos. Y entonces me dice de que sí, yo te los hago, y ya cuando los hizo, quédatelo, o sea, no lo necesito. Como una semana, 2 semanas después, hice gansito cheesecake y yo, ¡me va a dar!
I'm so sorry.
Y luego me dice, y los hice los hice en el tray que me diste, son individuales. Y yo, ¡me va a dar! Y luego me dice, sí, te los llevo al trabajo.
I think you
¿No
had
me los
made
dio?
for my
¿Alguien se los
birthday.
comió?
She-
Alguien se los comió. No voy a decir nombres, pero aquí, el que está tosiendo, se los comió.
It was his birthday.
Y siempre me ha dicho de que sí, luego te hago de gansito, sí, luego te hago de gansito, sí, luego te hago de gansito.
I mean, my birthday's coming up again.
No te los vas a comer de nuevo.
No, I can shit.
Nunca hace.
I can shit.
Yeah.
Still need more churros.
Crazy.
Brother, all you gotta do is ask me. I owe you some. I do owe you some. It's because they're so hard to make in the way that I want to make them. Haz de cuenta. Here's how I made them. Okay. And this is why the red velvet one would be like a mess. I put like this much cake batter at the bottom.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You got to freeze the cake batter.
Uh-huh.
And then you have to take cheesecake batter and put it on top of the cake batter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You bake that. And you even I think I put strawberry jam in the cake batter as well. Or in the cheesecake batter so that it
Sí.
uh-huh. Okay. That comes out. You freeze it. Okay. And then once it's frozen, you have to pop them out. This is the worst part because the jam, like, it's going to be frozen, but it's going to be the first thing to melt too. So now it's like the cheesecake batter is like about to break apart in the actual muffin pan because the jam is melting. Also, the bottom is like cake, so it's already so fragile. Okay. And so then all of that, then you have to dip it frozen in chocolate. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the chocolate's hot, everything's melting, and you're like, it's so stressful because you have to do it like really quick for it to like look good.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how do you say that? The cost outweighs the benefit of like making them. ¿Sabes?
Sí.
But I did make them one time.
Look at her face.
She's like, but you.
Te creo. No me importa. ¿Dónde está?
She's like, you still have my pan.
Actually, we're not.
Sí, te creo.
See,
Yo lo hago.
I just gave you all of the instructions.
Un mezcladero hay un...
You should give me the pan.
¿De qué Diana? ¿Cómo se hacía?
Sí, ya te entiendo.
Sí, y también le he pedido de horchata.
Yeah,
Cheese to
you
bake
have.
horchata.
It's because I don't know how to make horchata on its own. Que es como arroz.
Es arroz y canela y condensada.
I don't know.
Ujú. Sí.
I know I owe you things.
No, está bien. Algún día. Corte.
Sí.
Sí, no, pero a ver, ¿qué más? O sea, ¿qué más nos puedes contar? O sea, lo de las noticias. ¿Cómo empezaste con los churro cakes? Porque...
The churro cakes were something that people were always asking me about. Era uno de los, like, I was like, es que I don't know how it would work. Because I know people do it in like, small scale, ¿sabes? Pero I was doing, like, a ton of freaking cheesecakes all the time. I was like, I literally don't know how it... We were not necessarily short-staffed, but my staff all had, like, designated places to be, like, for the cheesecakes. But then the churro cheesecakes, I brought those in way later because I was like, okay, ya se aplacó un poquito todo. And then I brought those in. Pero el chisme que salió de pastelitos, Dios mío. It was like, because at the time, I was like locally known as the Cheesecake Girl. Like everybody in College Station, and not to sound like a big head, but like A&M is a very small place. Mm-hmm. So when people would see me, I would walk to my classes and be like, oh my God, Cheesecake Girl. And you're like, hello, my name is Diana. So I knew a lot of people, and a lot of people had their like eyes on me at the time. So if I did anything like wrong or like if they just had a judgment, they would put it out. And then some people would like agree, and other people would be like, leave Cheesecake Girl alone, which I love y'all. Like to this day, I love y'all. But it would be like, I remember one time I was studying with my friend Alex, and it was like a late night. We were at the architecture building because that place is the best place to study at night because architects are up at night. Okay. And I remember studying and being la 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 la, like I was so happy. Y de la nada, Alex goes quiet, and I was like, what? What's going on? He was like, no, nothing. I was like, no, what the hell is that? We were just at kiki kaka. And he's like, oh, it's because the table like next to you, like they're talking about you. And I was like, who? And I looked at the table. Two people I've never seen before in my life, like just two like girls. I don't know, guy. I don't know. And I was like, well, what are they saying? Because I can't hear. Like, what did you hear? He was like, oh no, they're just talking about how like anybody could do what you're doing. And I was like, háganlo. Do it. And I remember being like, I don't know these people. Like, these are like, no sé ni qué, ni cómo. Like, and I was at the time, and to this day, I still am super proud of myself for what I did. It was just weird to me that people that I didn't know were like, and like in public, and my friend, I was right across from them. They would just be like, yeah, anybody could do what she could do it. Like, I don't know why she's so proud of herself. Like, what's one thing they said in specific? She was like, oh, like, whatever. It doesn't even matter. But it was stuff like that, and that was not even the only occasion that it happened. But I felt so bad. Like, I felt so like, I got haters.
Sabes que te está yendo bien cuando tienes haters.
Yeah, especially people like I didn't even know. I was like, girl, sí. Like, everybody can make a cheesecake, but hazlo. But that was the chisme que me salía at the time. Or, for example, I remember one time there was a girl who, and I love, the girls who do this, like, do your own thing, like, whatever. But she was promoting her, like, and I think some guy was like hating on her, and he brought me into it, and I didn't even know who the guy was. He was like, why can't you guys be like Diana? Like, she works hard for her stuff, and like it's if it's not that hard, like, you guys can do it. And I remember going back and being like, I don't care how she makes her money, don't drag me into this. Like, at the end of the day, you're the one that's sitting here hating on some random person. Both of us are probably making way more money than you right now. And there's no reason for you to be doing that. And so people would do, like, little mini things like that because, like, parasocial relationships happen. So because I would put stuff on Twitter, people would think that they, like, knew me or could, like, drag me into, like, random conversations. No. Yo no me dejo. There was a moment in time where I was a very proud person. I spoke what I needed to speak when I wanted to speak it. And because I was well known, there were a ton of people who wanted to, like, very actively go against it. And it led to some, like, a super situation that just escalated, like, to the top. And I had to leave College Station because of it. So within that whole situation, like, as happy as it was, as good as it was, like, that situation kind of, like, stagnated everything. I still had my business, though. Like, I still had my business. I was still baking. I had my customers. My customers were ride or die for me, literally. And to this day, like, I know them. If I don't remember their names, I know them by face. And yeah, it was such a cool time in my life. because I was 19 when I started it. And then, yeah, they all watched me grow up, pretty much.
Y terminar.
Yeah, I'm finished.
To the degree.
Uh-huh.
¿Qué fue la razón por la cual lo empezaste?
Literally.
Ahí está el cap.
Yeah. So it took me, this was my graduation cap. So it took me like, I did the math. It was like quick math. It took me 10,200 cheesecakes to pay for my college, like to and through. And then now I'm here. And now I'm here.
Y, o sea, ¿lo volverías a hacer?
Sí.
Sí.
See, I really miss it. I miss having like, for the people who have like worked in kitchens before, like there's something that's so different about like working with like, because everybody's tired, but everybody's trying to like make the most of it. So the music is like blasting, or like you're cooking and like you're sweaty, like it's gross in a kitchen, but like you're kind of trauma bonding with everybody who's there. And then I loved all of my customers. That was my favorite part about having Pastelitos, because I got to talk to them, or they would like, they would come to me and they'd be like, oh, well, do you remember that girl I got the cheesecake with last time? Like, well, this is what happened with that. Like, chismeando. There was one girl specifically, her name is Sandra. She is from San Antonio. I think she recently got engaged. But I watch her stories like all the time. I still follow her on Instagram. I miss her because every time she would come into the bakery, she would sit down and we would just talk, and it was like long talking. And then I miss having my dream team, I call them, because at some point it was me, Gina, Gail, and Sophia, and it was just a bunch of like great energy in the kitchen, literally. And I keep up with them, like kind of like I watch their stories and stuff. Like Sophia's in Boston now, she's a florist. Yerb went for their masters, and then Gail moved to Colorado, and I believe she's engaged. And then Gina is living in Austin. So I miss working with them. I literally I would so do it again, like in a heartbeat. Like as tired as I was, I would so bring it back.
Qué padre.
Sí. Like I want to cry. Sí.
Yo nada más le ayudé una vez.
Ay, sí me ayudaste.
Sí, una vez.
Yeah, that was when, so once I left College Station, I came back to Houston, and so I'm baking a little bit here and there, like out of my apartment now. And whenever I met Nikki, it was when I was taking daily orders still, because we had worked in, because I was working part-time with her. And so the other half of my day was like baking away. And then, no sé por qué, I think you were feeling, was it like anxious that day? O nomás querías
Sí,
como...
fue de mi trabajo. Del trabajo que tenía.
Sí. Yeah, so she was really stressed out from her old work. And I was like, pues, ¿quieres venir a trabajar conmigo?
Sí.
And we were baking away. Loki, you have the recipe.
Se me olvidó.
She has $1 million recipe in her head somewhere. Sí,
Sí.
You just have to dig for it.
Yeah, al final del cerebro.
Uh-huh.
Sí.
Yeah.
You just kind of envy it. No, I'm just kidding.
I had a couple of people who had helped me one time. Like I remember one time I was super stressed out when I was still baking out of my apartment in College Station, and there was a girl who, her name is Gio. I forgot why she came. I think it's because I was really stressed out, and she came to come and help me, and we were just baking away. I have a picture of her deep in my Google Photos, but she was like, she was sitting there with the batter, digo, and yeah, it was fun. I had a huge community that I could pull on for help.
Y, o sea, en Navidad, ¿cómo te sentías en Navidad? Porque sé que, o sea, que te conocí con 2 Navidades.
Sí.
De cheesecakes.
Sí. So that's a little PTSD a little bit. Because for Christmas, I would try to go to all of my cities. So it was Arlington. I think one time I did... one time I did like Arlington, Austin, San Antonio, and Houston, all in a weekend. It was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I would go in my Kia Soul with some igloos in the back of my car Dios santo.
Tienes que, no, sí, explica cómo tienes tu Kia también.
So my key is modified. My key is modded to be cheesecake friendly because obviously you put like the chairs down. It's like, oh yeah, we have more space. It's like, no, the cheesecakes can't slip out. So what I did was one day I went into my dad's like garage and I was pulling out all of his tools. I took out my back seats. I said, Dad, come with me to Home Depot and I need to buy a platform to have all of my cheesecakes like straight. And so he was like, yeah, I'll do it. Oh yeah, I'll do it. He never did it. I voy yo to Home Depot and I'm like, what can I use to like put in the back of my car, like to have all of the platforms? And I drew out how I wanted like the cheesecake platform to look. And so it's basically, it almost kind of looks like a trifold. So it's the platform is here. And then there's like two kind of like hinged doors like here. So the hinges were to stop the cheesecakes from like going too forward or going too back. And then I wanted to add some on the side, but nunca. Hello, Oliver.
Okay.
And so that's how I have my Kia to this day. Like I haven't gone to Dallas in like a year. No, 2 years. Like 2 years. So I just have that.
¿Sigues teniendo los sillones o no?
I think they're in my garage. To this day though, I get a little scared because I'm like, if I were to get into a crash, this platform would paralyze me. Like if someone rear-ended me too hard, like.
Sí.
Maybe I should take it out. Maybe I should. Yeah, that's how I did. But oh my god, dude, Christmas was crazy, but it's because I had to do it.
No.
It's because the demand it was there.
Ajá, ¿qué? ¿Crees que es Thanksgiving? ¿Es peor?
Dallas with Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Dallas with
Bad.
Thanksgiving. You're right.
Bad.
Mhm. And it only got bad because of the New York style cheesecakes.
Oh.
Because it would be one cheesecake, but I had to do pretty much like double the work. So it was double the batter, double the cheese, double the ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
And then for New York style, like you have to be really cautious because the cheesecake could look cooked, but it could not be cooked. Dios mío. No. Like I'm stressed out just thinking about it. And then the dishes were ooh.
Sí.
Toppings.
So bad. We would come back at like 3 in the morning.
Yeah. Like sweaty and like you still had to shower and like I remember coming back one time from I think it was back when I think it was that long night that you had listed.
5 a.m.
Yeah, that I came back from the kitchen after 5 a.m. and I think it was a prep day or something. But I came home and I fell asleep on the rug because I was so exhausted. Yeah.
And then you had to wake up. I remember you had to wake up at 8 a.m. because you had a final to study for.
Oh my god, you're right. Yeah.
So
God, I don't know. I literally don't even know how I was doing that. Like that was so not sustainable. I did it though.
Qué padre.
See. It was a fun time. Pastelitos was so much fun. I don't know. I'll bring it back.
¿Crees que sí o sea, en un futuro?
100%.
Como full time.
Sí. Sí, no me... Because, like, sí me veo in the role that I'm in right now, pero aparte, y lo voy a decir en español, aparte porque sabía que claramente no me puedo enseñar todo yo misma.
Sí.
So tengo que aprender de un... Ajá.
De alguien, de algo.
Sí, como los procesos y administración. Estoy en eso ahorita. Estoy conectando con la gente y de ahí. A ver qué pasa en el futuro.
¿Y te ves con tu cheesecake shop?
Sí. No, y siempre lo he querido hacer como un franchise.
Okay.
Porque in reality, like the recipe is pretty simple. You just have to have someone to like be able to quality check everything. So it's pretty easy to franchise. No más que pues no puedo ahorita.
No, pues en un futuro.
Sí.
Qué padre. Sí. ¿Y cómo lo ves? O sea, ¿todo rosa? Porque sabemos que pastelito es rosa.
I don't know. I've thought about it, but ahora veo, like, I'll see full pink businesses, and it kind of gives me a headache a little bit.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking maybe if it could be like a coffee shop style thing.
Okay.
Maybe.
Mhm.
Staring right at me.
Yeah, because again, like from the start, Pastelitos was always about just like talking and chismeando and being able to like meet with people, and I think that that's the core of what made it Pastelitos. So why not make it like a conversational kind of place?
Okay.
See,
Muy bien.
yeah, a lot of stuff has happened.
¿Y vas a hacer los de gansito?
Maybe I'll bring them back. Maybe I'll bring them back for you. And now that you've publicly called me out, now I feel like I have to. Sí, I'll do it for you.
Y la pregunta del millón, ¿este año vas a hacer cheesecakes para la gente?
Yeah, why not? I think so.
Open in Dallas, Thanksgiving for
Yeah.
the kitchen out, come back at 6 a.m. Came back 6 a.m. one time. They had tall boys
Huh?
at like 3 in the morning.
Who?
We did. We were like, oh, I need a beer. Like, I need a beer.
Oh my god, wait, you're right.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And we stopped at a gas station and got like a tall boy of like a Modelo. And we literally laid down. Our bodies were like in pain, sipping.
See.
It was really cold that night, I remember.
Yeah, I remember. That was good. It's cause, man, kitchen tired is different. Like, it is different because you're moving your whole body and you have to be moving.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because, like, with the cheesecakes, it was like you have, because this is how I like to work. I had the cheesecake batter and the mixer running. And I'm like, okay, with this running, I need to prepare for when the batter's done. So let me open up the pie pans. And I'd be like, okay, well, hang on. The pie pans are here, but I have stuff in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like you would finish with one thing, you had to run to the other thing. And then it was just us two, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And,
O, ¿cómo se llaman esos shows? Los
like
de...
MasterChef?
No, más, bueno, sí, tipo MasterChef, pero ahí en Netflix hay unos de cupcakes.
Oh, like Bake Wars or Cake
Algo
Wars or something
así,
like that?
ajá.
Yeah. And it's so real. And no, and mind you, the people in the kitchen, like, if they don't like you, like, they will make it known. They will make it known, and they'll, like, purposely get in your way.
Yeah.
Or, like, say, oh my god, like, say one time, I had to wash the big mixer. Mind you, the mixer's, like, this big. I had to wash it, and I don't know who the hell was taking up the dish, like, place to wash the dishes. That's my story.
Qué padre.
See, I like when I'm able to talk about it because, like, it's not often. Like, it's often, but it's not often that I get to give, like, the whole story.
Ujú.
Está padre.
Sí, sí está padre. Bueno, luego vamos a ver a Diana Cheesecake ahí.
Ajá. Something. Pastelitos. Or no sé. We'll see. Bueno. I feel like I talked away. But so essentially we brought it forth to be like, kind of talk about like how it started, how things can go if you like really, really put like your full effort into it. Because I know that there's a ton of people who want to start businesses, or they're trying to pay their way through school, or trying to pay their way through like, or just make extra money on the side.
Mhm.
It's totally possible. You really just have to find like the passion behind what you're doing, because that kind of like fuels the rest of it. So if you want to like buy a house, it's like, okay, well, I want the house, I'm gonna get the house, this is what I'm gonna do to get the house. And that's kind of how it starts. And find your community. People will support you if they want to support you, if they know the reason behind. People were supporting me because they wanted me to get through college, first generation. Y ahí, let people know why you're doing it, and that's how you go.
Sí.
Sí, me veo crying after this.
Qué padre. ¿Algo más que quieras compartir con nuestra audiencia, el público?
Follow me on Pastelitos. I'm on Instagram and I take my weekly order forms and or weekend order forms sometimes.
Sometimes.
Hashtag more than a cheesecake. Oh yeah, David. Shout out David. This is another one of my customers.
Qué padre, qué padre. A ver, una cosa más. Nunca, o sea, por tus cheesecakes nunca conociste a alguien como famoso o well known. O sea, no tiene que ser de la tele ni nada, o sea, como alguien de un negocio o algo así.
Okay, so Kellen Mond, he is from A&M. He was a football player. I think he's playing for, and I'm not going to say it because I may just get it wrong, but he's playing for the NFL now. We were organizing a protest together with my other friend. ¿Cómo se llama? Neta. Kineta. Yeah. I was like, it starts with a Q. But we were kind of working together to like use his platform because he was at A&M in football. And I was like, oh, okay, well, here we can do this and that. And that's who I met. Yeah. And I think that's everybody. I'm probably missing someone else, but a lot of my customers are in the midst of like their either influencer era, musician era, and I could definitely see them going out and like doing some good things. Like there's one of my old customers. She's in her own band called Mr. Cat Band, and she plays a lot of places in Austin and in College Station, and then. I have to think of some other ones off the top of my head, but maybe I will know more famous people off of my customers. They're doing their own thing right now.
Qué padre. Muy
bien. Yeah, just name dropping all of my customers. I hope we're all well. But yeah, I think that's everything.
Sí. Okay. Bueno, pues muchas gracias por venir hoy.
Sí, no, claro. Wouldn't be anywhere else. We have no chisme today, unfortunately, but we will go and gather some more from our people because there has to be something happening in y'all's life for sure. And then in the next episode, we're going to interview Nikki. And then she gets to tell us a little bit about where she came from and what her story is and stuff that she probably keeps to herself. I may even be a little surprised. Sepa.
Tal vez sí.
Sí. So, yeah.
Cómo ser un inmigrante, cómo es venir de inmigrante a Estados Unidos.
Yeah. So, more to come.
Bueno, si les gustó este video, dale like, comenta y suscríbete. Estamos en Spotify, YouTube y Instagram como muy.delulu. También tenemos un website que es www.muydelulu.com. Sí. Vayan y visítenlo. Ahí pueden poner el chisme y así cositas.
Yeah. You can see all of our episodes there, and then you can just throw us some news stories our way.
Okay, no se olviden de dejarnos su chisme para la siguiente semana.
Sí.
Bueno.
All right.
Bye. ¿Cuántos?